everybody, my name is Sebastian from Destination Eurovision, and with me today, face very well known for the fans of Eurovision in Australia, Jaguar Jonze. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a pleasure. We will chat a little bit about your career because you are doing lots of things, and from what I know and from what I learned, you're doing it very well. So I believe there are lots of links to talk about it, and of course, Eurovision, because this is main reason. But please, maybe we'll start with a very fascinating thing because you was born in Yokohama, Japan, and you have Taiwanese mother and Australian father, which is really fascinating from the start. Can you bring us a little bit memories from the time when you are in Japan because you are moved to Australia after a few years?
Yeah, so I moved to Australia when I was 6, nearly 7. So I lived the first part of my life in Japan. I love it. My dad still lives in Japan. And obviously with COVID, it kind of stops us from visiting. But otherwise, Japan is almost like a second country home for me. And I miss it. Like Japanese is my favorite cuisine. The pop culture is awesome. I guess my memories living in Japan is snow in winter. Australia, I mean, where I am, like there is never any snow. And I just remember around January, I just got to play in snow. I was telling my friends the other day that, you'll have festivals, which might be like a mochi festival. So mochi is like the sticky rice, and we would all pour out on the streets and make mochi together with your neighbors and barbecue them, put soy sauce or roll them into sesame and make it sweet. And we just got to do all those kind of really fun festivals. Yeah, lots of memories. But yeah, Japan is awesome.
Okay, so it's really great to hear that you still have connection and really want to be that place as much as fast as possible. Do you ever think to relocate once again to Japan? Or Australia is right now your home, your career is settled down there, so you are much more thinking about staying here for a while?
That's exactly it. If I wasn't doing music, I probably would have lived in Japan. I love Japan so much, but I love music, and music is my passion, and music and art is my passion, but it's quite difficult to make that happen over there. So yeah, I definitely will be staying here to be able to grow my career into a place where it's sustainable and stable, and then I guess we will see from there where I would go. But yeah, I'll always be visiting Japan and spending time there.
Perfect. And when I look for your website, official website, I find very fascinating line. She has her fingers in many pies, but never feels that it's all too much of a handful. And this perfectly linked with what you said about your fascination about the music, art. From the description, musician, illustrator, photographer, content creator, public speaker. So lots of talents, lots of amazing skills. Please tell me, in this moment, very moment we are chatting, music is your main hobby, main piece of art which you would like to continue to be better, or it's much more divided as you said on the website?
No, I would say music is my number one passion. And then second is my visual art. And then third is my photography. So for those who don't know, my music is Jaguar Jonze, and that's what I'm mainly known for. But my visual art is Spectator Jonze, and my photography is Dusky Jonze. So they're all different creative profiles, and they work in that priority. Music is my favorite because it is music, visual art, and photography always within music anyway. Yeah, so I feel like if I was to pick one, music encapsulates all sorts of creative thinking and mediums. But yeah, I love what I do in Spectator Jonze. I love connecting with people, and I interview each person before I draw them, and I love that process as well. So it is a very special project to me too.
Absolutely. And your wonderful mind to the artisan, to the how to catch some moments, how to present something, always makes me wonder how from where you find it, because it's really amazing. I saw your video clips to Carlin, to the Astronaut, which amazingly fits the music, which it's not that easy normally. People sometimes struggle with this. So please tell me, for the person who are not that creative mind, how it works. For example, with Carlin, it's amazing video clip. Many times it for me give me some reminiscence of Quentin Tarantino. How this idea of this video clip born in your mind? It takes long, it takes short. You can some way somehow summarize how it works for you in these cases.
For me, when I'm writing music, I'm already kind of feeling and creating the story and the visual world around that song. So for each of the songs that's going to be on my next EP, you've already heard some. So that's Dead Alive, Murder, Astronaut, and Curled In. And then there will be a fifth one. I drew everything and figured out the world of each one and the art direction for each one while I was sick in hospital with COVID-19. And I think it just was a form of escape for me when I was having a really hard time with my health. But naturally, I don't know. For me, it's like when I wrote the song, those worlds kind of existed. Or maybe the way I like to think of it is, what emotion am I wanting to put into this song, and how do I represent it visually? And so ideas will come from there of how to be able to express that emotion and story with the visuals. And this is what I came up with.
And you're doing perfectly. Really, really amazing job. It's always lovely to see that
you.
amazing people in this industry. And speaking of it, because we are talking about creativity, we talk about art, we talk about music. So we need to catch the topic of the Eurovision Song Contest itself and your performance with the rabbit hole. You told it about many times, I believe, but if we can just refresh this story, how it goes that you came about these preselections and you bring the song to the stage, how it works for you.
I was actually a very last minute decision. So I came into the Eurovision Australia Decides because an artist pulled out last minute. And so I found out that I was going to be doing it 1 month before. So it's not a long time. So lots of, many artists had like, months and months or even a year to prepare. I had 1 month. And Rabbit Hole was already a song that was going to come out. And I already created the music video for it, the costume, the same thing. I had already designed everything. So it really fit perfectly with the Eurovision Australia Decides schedule. And they worked alongside me to bring the visual world that I created around Rabbit Hole onto the stage. So for me, it was really a dream come true, because I never got to work with lights like that. I never got to work with set design on stage like that. I never got to work with in-ears and that kind of high level of production was like a new experience for me. So I wanted to make sure that I embraced that entire opportunity and made my dreams come true. So I was just like, I want this set that like falls down and it breaks. Rabbit Hole is all about feeling like trapped and suffocated and closed, and then there's like a moment of like freedom and understanding, and I wanted that to happen on stage. I really wanted it to be me. And so I was really pushing to make sure I didn't have much time. I had 1 month to prepare, But I said to myself, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure that who I am as an artist is what everyone is going to see. And I knew that I was very different, and that it would, be polarizing, and, test people's like thinking for what Eurovision usually is. But I was like, I'm not out here to win. I'm out here to show you who I am as an artist. And yeah, I feel like I did that. So it was a really great experience.
Absolutely, and I believe this embracing who you are in the stage and by the song goes very well for you, because it wasn't bad result, and surely you gain a lot of fans all around the world. And speaking of it, because you said very interesting thing that your goal there is not to win, but showing yourself who you are artistically and musically. But let me tell you, but let's just pretend that you won. In this case, it will be a dream come true, or will be a little bit problem for you, because Eurovision is much more even bigger than Australia decides, with 200 million people approximately watching it every year on May. How do you feel with that?
I honestly really mean it when I said I didn't go out there to win. If I got told that I won, I probably would have a heart attack and freeze and just be like, no, 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 because I don't think I'm ready for that at all. I'd be so scared. So I was already scared. That was my first time performing live on TV. So, imagining the big, oh my, see, I'm already starting to have a heart attack just like, no, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready for it. So I'm very glad. I'm very happy with my results. I feel like I won because I got to connect with a lot of amazing people, and I got to learn this crazy world of Eurovision. And I feel like it's like an underworld, like, it like brings you in, and once you're in, you don't want to leave, and I don't want to leave anymore. I'm having fun learning what this whole Eurovision world is. But that's enough for me right now. We'll see in the future.
Okay, so you came across very well with my next question, because lots of people are wondering if it's possibility that Jaguar Jonze will come back to Australia decides. Because of the circumstances, we know that Montaigne was representing Australia this year, but very, very shortly, I believe it will come back as a format. So people wondering if she will come back, if she will bring something really unique, artistic, and cool to the stage of Eurovision. And I believe it's, as you said, it's gonna be things of the future, isn't it?
Look, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not against it. For me, it's like I will try again when I feel ready as an artist to, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, take the next step. But we'll see. We'll see.
So it's all about perfect timing, ladies and gentlemen. You need to wait for the proper moment. Exactly. Okay.
Always.
And please tell me, because you thought
It's about both, right? I think it's about perfect timing, but also taking opportunities when they come your way. And so the reason why I did it the first time was because it was an opportunity that I could embrace, and I knew I wasn't going to be a favorite because I was a newcomer, very alternative and different, with no preparation. And but maybe the next time it's more about perfect timing. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed. And speaking of the people, because you told about this a few moments ago, that you met lots of people, great friendships there. As you said, as a newcomer, it's very new for you. Please tell me how it works with people like Vanessa Morosi, Casey Donovan, Didiri, Diana Ruvash. So lots of people who are mixing this experience on the stage, lots of albums produced and taken out to the market, with the people like you who are mostly newcomers, debuting, and they are the first shot. How do you feel with them? How it goes in their interaction? Do you meet them better?
yeah, we became friends. Like, you know, we got to go through a process together, and yeah, I mean, I feel like the Australian culture is very friendly, down to earth, open, and so we all came into that supporting each other and learning each other, and yeah, it was a really great, almost like family vibe. And there are some people that I'm close to, like Montaigne and Deena, like, you know, they're, I guess, the more alternative artists, and we had already kind of been within the same circles. And from Eurovision, we just kind of became this little alternative Eurovision trio family. So I was so excited when Montaigne won. If you actually watch the end of when she wins and it's like rolling credits, and I attack her and I hug her, no one actually realizes, but they forgot to turn my microphone, her microphone off, and I'm screaming in her ear and I'm swearing. I'm like, I'm so fucking proud of you. And that's on live national television. So it was pretty funny.
This is the Eurovision energy, what we all talk about all the times.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing. Please tell me, in the general, before you, as you said, one month before you was invited to the Australia Decides, do you have in general idea about what this Eurovision is all about? Because I believe that born in Japan, being in Australia, take you off absolutely from our European bubble of what this event is. So what's your general conception of the Eurovision after this performance being on the Australia Decides? Do you know about it? Anything about how it works, how it goes with you? Because it's always fascinating when we chat with people from exactly from Australia.
I had no idea. Obviously, I have heard about it, and I will see. You know, when Dummy Im from Australia did it, or Guy Sebastian, but I mean, obviously, Dummy Im. I met her at Eurovision Australia Decides last year, but she also lives very close to me in the same area. So I had always heard about her a lot. And when she did really well, and it's one of my favorites, like she was amazing. Obviously, Australia is so proud. So you hear about it in the news and on the media. And so I knew that much, but otherwise, I was never really exposed to it. My guitarist, I think, was more exposed to it and understood it more. After I found out I was going to be doing it, I did some research and I watched some things, but I also chose purposely not to look at it too much, because then my like nerves will get too high for me to handle. I think I understand it more now afterwards. And I have actually spent a lot of time with Eurovision fans who have become close as well, and they've taught me a lot of things too. So yeah, I think it goes back to me thinking it is like an underworld where it's just it's huge. But yeah, I don't know. It's so big. I had no idea. So it's really cool to learn.
So amazing that our fan base and your friends personally give you all this info. So right now you are know more about it all. And please tell me, speaking of it, because you said about this very funny story of Montaigne at the end of the preselection show, she will represent Australia this year with song Technicolor, which I believe it's much more different from Don't Break Me, but still alternative, still very interesting, the fusion of many styles and ideas. Do you like this song? How you rate it?
Yeah, I really like the song. It's very different. She actually wrote it with a really good friend of mine as well. She wrote that song with a good friend of mine, and he and I work together on my music too. So yeah, I actually didn't know that they were going to work together to do this song, but it's awesome. It's amazing. Really something different. Excited to see how it all goes.
Perfect. And please tell me, because as you probably know, I come from Poland. So I was wondering if you have any contact with people who are Polish, or you are been in Poland one time in your life, or maybe more. Is there any connection with Poland from you, or is still new thing?
One of my close friends in high school was Polish. So I think no, I should have studied, but I think I remember like I love you is something.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Uh, so that's about all I have for you. Otherwise, I've actually always wanted to go to Poland. I really want to go to Poland and check it out. So maybe next time this is where you, my new Polish friend, can take me around and show me.
I will be honored. So we have a plan.
As long
Yeah.
everything will come to the normal circle. So hopefully very, very
Yes.
soon.
Very, very
Yes.
soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, we touched this Eurovision topic a little bit. Thank you so much for that. But I have also some questions connected with your career, music career in general, because on the very beginning you are recording albums and selling them by your name, real name. So I'm speaking about the first album Lone Wolf and second Black Cat, which I learned that can be bought physically in Australia, but they are not on the streaming services anymore. Can you bring us the story why this happened? Is something connected more with technical stuff, or is this mainly your idea of being
No.
Jaguar Jonze? Change it.
Oh, you can't buy it physically anymore either.
Oh,
It's all gone. But I think it was just it's just like I was still learning a lot about who I am as an artist. I also, I'm very open, like Rabbit Hole is about, my journey with mental health, but like that was a period where I wasn't really who I wanted to be. I was very much suppressed and scared and reserved. And I think when I started Jaguar Jonze, I gave myself permission to be the artist that I am and to be able to express freely. And so, yeah, I think for me, like the old music and going on to Deena, it was a learning process that led me to Jaguar Jonze. But Jaguar Jonze is who I am as an artist. But the really cool thing for me is as I spend more time being Jaguar Jonze, Deena, who was once very scared, is starting to become more like Jaguar Jonze. And it's all kind of becoming one. So it's for me, music and art is my therapy as well. So yeah, it's a really cool healing process for me.
perfect to hear. And speaking about your music, also a very interesting thing which I found, because for me personally, I believe for lots of Eurovision fans, you are known as a very creative person who are doing lots of her own music, which you start from the ground and make it some visual perfect. But I also heard that you do the cover of Toxic from Britney Spears, which is really interesting for me. And please tell me why this choice? Is there something which brought
um,
you to this?
yeah, Toxic by Britney Spears has always been my favorite pop song. And since I was little, like very little, and for me, I think when I listened to it as a child, I took the meaning of the song in a complete different way. And then when I listened to this song as an adult, it was so different to how I kind of felt about it as a child. And so I wanted to do a cover of that song in the way I understood it as an adult, to really draw out the like underlying message in the darkness of what that song actually was, or is as well, like how it can be interpreted. So yeah, I wanted to do a cover. Also at the same time, I was dealing with the Me Too movement in the Australian music industry, and I felt like Toxic kind of really represented how I was feeling, and I didn't want to do my own music at that time. It was more just like, let's put it into this song. So I just wanted to express myself in a really different way, and Toxic was perfect for it.
Wow, great to hear. Really great to hear. And please tell me, because you talked that Toxic was your favorite pop song, so this is why also the choice. So for a person like you, who are really open-minded to lots of art categories, who is your inspiration in case of music? Do you have favorite bands, artists through the years who stay with you and maybe some way influence how you do in your music? Is there anybody like that?
Yeah, I have my favorite artists, but they don't really sound like Jaguar Jonze at all. But I think I'm inspired by them as people and as artists because they are just, they're just driven, and they just fight for who they are as an artist. They're trendsetters themselves because they break out and do their own thing. They're creative and they push boundaries on just ordinary, structures. So yeah, I really love the Jeff Buckley, the Johnny Cash, Portishead, Last Shadow Puppets, Angel Olsen. Yeah, I'd say they're my like favorite. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Love. So yeah, they're my picks. Oh, but like I have a guilty pleasure as well, and my guilty pleasure is Celine Dion.
Oh, okay. So I believe that we have right now all the answers why you are that awesome, because music taste is also your very good point in this case. Yeah, really great choices. Really, really great choices. Okay, maybe the last question, or the second to last. In November 2020, it was commissioned by Christian Louboutin to create a concept film, visual artworks. This is the huge name in this sphere of artism. How do you remember it, this moment and this whole story behind this?
I screamed. When I got an email saying we want to talk about a collaboration, I opened, because it was from like the PR company first, and they represent some really awesome brands, and I was like, wow, any of these would be amazing, but holy crap, they look after Christian Louboutin, and Christian Louboutin is my absolute favorite designer since I was a child. But I was like, that's not going to happen, but really cool to see. And then the next email afterwards was like, yes, so our client, Christian Louboutin, would love to commission some artworks. And I was just like, no, like, and I just remember running around the room like, no. And so I had a meeting with them, and I walked into the room, and I was just like, hello, like really trying to act cool. But then it was like 10 minutes in, and I just could not control it anymore. And I'm just like, this is such a dream come true. Like, thank you so much for believing in me as an artist. Like, I cannot wait to work with you on this. Yeah, and I even showed them like this book I had in high school. And this book is called like 101 Dreams. And on each page, you write a dream that you want to accomplish. This is when I was a teenager. And the very first page says Christian Louboutin. And it was like, I want to own a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, and I want more than one. I want them like all the time. Like, I was so in love with Christian Louboutin, and then there was just photos of the shoes. That's the first page. The second page, falling in love, which meant that to me as a teenager, Christian Louboutin was more important to me than falling in love. That's how much I love that brand.
All right, amazing, amazing. I love your energy. Really, it gives this conversation lots of attitude and lots of power. Okay, please tell me, because our interview sadly need to be done some way somehow. So I would ask you this way: you are very young, but you've done a lots of great things already. As you said, some of your dreams come true. So what's the bucket list for the Jaguar Jonze? Is there anything which you have on list and we can wish you that you will just come to this point? Is there anything like this?
I want to tour Europe.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who have some contacts, invite this amazing lady to the Europe as
I
long
want
as
to
situation
play
will.
in Europe. Yeah, that is actually a dream of mine, to play a whole tour in Europe, play festivals in Europe, play clubs, play little rooms, big rooms, beautiful rooms, learn about the different cultures and eat all the food and, like, absorb all the art and architecture. That would be a dream of mine. So, if there's any place I can put that dream, it's definitely in a Eurovision interview. So I'll leave it with you.
Okay, so I will try to help you with this. I will do my best.
Thank you.
And of course, you need to eat pierogi in Poland, which is also a very important
Okay.
part of our cuisine. So I believe all
Perfect.
Polish.
Well,
we have a deal.
when I go to Poland, we have a deal. What is it called? Pierogi?
This is the dumplings in Polish. So you have cheese and these potatoes and cheese on inside it. It's very popular here. Everybody who's going to Poland learn pierogi, kocham cię, and one swear, but I wanted it on the video because YouTube will take it out.
Okay. Dumplings are my favorite. So Poland, you're already in my heart and my stomach.
So you are also a Pole right now, so
Everything is working perfectly to give you your new passport. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with me Jaguar Jonze, beautiful, talented lady from Australia. Thank you so much for this conversation. It was amazing, and I really hope that one day, maybe in the future, when the circumstances go good, everything's work out, timing will be perfect, you will come back and make this your magic on the Eurovision stage. I really have finger crossed for this. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
And ladies and
Not
gentlemen,
a problem.
If you want see more Jaguar in the future and meet more other artists in our videos, please subscribe our channel. Button is there, and do it because you won't regret it. Thank you so much once again. Beautiful Jaguar Jonze and Sebastian Mnich, Destination Eurovision. Thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.
Bye.